Hey everybody, it's Casey Williams. A couple of weeks ago, I was out in Montana driving the 2025 Subaru Forester. It's a brand new redesigned model, and I really liked it a lot. If you want to see that video, it's out on the site. But it reminded me of being in Utah later last year, driving the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Wilderness. This is a little bit smaller than the Forester. So I wanted to get that vehicle back and compare it. I got to drive it last winter, drove in the snow. It was great. Of course, got to drive it off-road out in Utah. But I thought I'd really like to have it back here in the summer and just get to use it again in everyday use and kind of compare it to the new Forester. So that's what we have this week, the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Wilderness. Let's go have a look at it. So one more little confession. My family owns a 2022 Subaru Outback Wilderness, the larger edition of this. So it's really been kind of fun to have the Crosstrek Wilderness and have the smaller version and kind of some of the similarities with that in the Outback and also some of the differences. But I really do like what they did with the styling. And it really does connect it to the Outback Wilderness and also the Forester Wilderness. I like the big black grille. I like the bronze accents. And these are all connecting points on the vehicle. You see them up on the roof rack as well. But those indicate places where you can connect either tow hooks or a roof rack. But I really like the Outback Wilderness look, and I like it better on the Crosstrek. The black patch, keep the glare out of your eyes when you're off-roading. The 17-inch matte black wheels, off-road tires. And if you look close, you'll see that it sits up just a little bit higher than a standard Crosstrek, 9.3 inches of ground clearance. So very easy to get off-road and clear the rocks and the rubble as you're out. I like this, the side cladding again. Just it's all functional too. I mean, it looks cool, but it's all functional, really trying to keep the vehicle protected when you're actually using it off-road. You can very capably use this. Roof rack will hold 700 pounds. So if you want to put a tent on top of it, you can do that, 700-pound static load. So you can do that. You can go off-roading as well. Come around the back. Again, some of the other details, the blacked out trim, the badging here, more connecting points. Doesn't have a power hatch, doesn't really need it. And there's quite a bit of space in here for gear as well. I like that the rubber mats in here. Back seats fold down. There's also a light right here. So if you're getting back, you've been on the trail or you've been camping or you've been boating, and you're getting back a little bit late, there's a light here to help you get that done as well. So I just a lot of very practical things on this car, but I think it also looks very cool. What I've always appreciated Subarus is the interiors feel just a little more upscale than a lot of their competitors. You just feel like about a more expensive vehicle. And what I really like about the Wilderness Edition is it's sporty, but it also has all the luxury features you want. And it really starts with the seats. These are their StarTech seat, which is their faux leather, and I like them. They look cool. They feel nice. They got nice texture on them. I like the bronze stitching. But if you get them dirty, you just get a wash rag and just wash them right down. So very easy to clean. Very practical, whether you're into outdoor activities or you have kids that might be spitting up on them or making a mess with their juice boxes, very easy to clean right up. But some of the styling details, I like the gray. I just like kind of the contrasting colors. I like the carbon fiber look here. Again, everything looks nice. One of the differences I have noticed, again, from this one compared to the Outback Wilderness, there's a lot more hard plastic in here. It all looks good, but when you start tapping around, you find a lot more hard plastic. Doors are padded, doors are stitched, back doors are hard plastic, where they wouldn't be in the Outback. But again, you're talking about a vehicle, that's $7,000 more expensive than this one, so you'd expect some adjustments to be made with that. But the other thing is that you will find very standard from Subaru. I love the touchscreen. The early edition of this took a little time to boot up and wasn't easy to access in the first few minutes of driving. This one boots up pretty quick now. They've gotten that all straightened out. Very easy to use it, very easy to connect to your navigation, your phone. You can wirelessly connect phones through Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Also have a wireless phone charger down below. But one of the other things I really like too that they do, and Subaru does as well, there are proper volume and tuning knobs, and then the key climate control functions are down below. So you've got the front defrost, rear defrost, and then the temperature controls for driver and passenger. You do have dual zone automatic climate control, so that works out really well. And I really believe that some things should just be intuitive, just be able to reach down and just find those things very quickly. So they've done a nice job of balancing all that. But a lot of utility, nice big cup holders, nice storage here. I also like the leather wrapped steering wheel with the bronze stitching and the bronze accents here. Again, part of the Wilderness package. If you look at the gauge cluster, there's bronze circles around the gauges as well. Big clear analog gauges. A couple of things that they do have on this one: the power sunroof. I'm glad that's on here. And this has the Harman Kardon audio system. My Outback Wilderness, I couldn't even get the Harman Kardon audio system. I kind of wish I could have, but it sounds really good in a vehicle this size. Safety, Subaru does not scrimp on safety. First of all, the crash structure of the vehicle is very, very secure, certainly absorbs the impacts. But to help you avoid those impacts in the first place, you've got the new tri-camera eyesight system up here. So this is for the automatic emergency braking, adaptive cruise, um, front cross path detection. Also has a third camera now to help you steer around. It automatically steer around obstacles in an emergency. Other things, this has a blind spot warning, rear cross path detection. Pretty much everything you need to stay safe. Well, you might expect that the Crosstrek would feel less refined than the bigger Forester or Outback. And in some ways it does. You have to keep in mind the price point of this vehicle. It's just not going to be quite as refined as that. But for a vehicle like this, I think Subaru does a great job of making it feel very solid, making it ride smooth. I especially like with the Wilderness Edition, you get the higher ride height, you get a little more suspension play, you get the thicker off-road tires. So it actually translates into a vehicle that rides a lot more comfortably even on city streets. If you're rumbling over potholes and rumbling over broken pavement, it actually does a very good job of doing that in the city as well. You get it on the trail. And again, last year I was out in Utah and we were off-road, rough roads, really testing the ground clearance of it. Very capable in all those conditions as well. And like I said, it's got 9.3 inches of ground clearance, so you can get over that stuff and do that very easily. One thing I think that would be really nice if this had is the turbo. I love the turbocharged four-cylinder in my Outback Wilderness. But this has a 2.5 liter four-cylinder, generates 182 horsepower, 178 pound-feet of torque, and that's really enough power for a vehicle this size. That's about the same as in the Forester, and I think the Forester is a little bit underpowered. This one, it feels a little more sprightly and a little bit better. Fuel economy, keep in mind you got the higher ride height, the big tires, and all this kind of stuff on it, and all-wheel drive standard. So it's not going to be super efficient. But 25 miles per gallon in the city, 29 highway, I think is really, really good for what this vehicle can do. The one thing I think lets it down just a little bit is the continuously variable transmission. So it kind of whines a little bit. It's a little bit noisy. It does a good job of getting power down. And if you really don't want to do that, you can put it into manual mode, and then you can click through 8 preset gear ratios. So it gives a little more natural feel. Or if you're out off-roading and you really want to be able to control that transmission, you can do that as well. I really like the 2025 Subaru Forester. I think it's going to sell really, really well. But I was also really glad to be reunited with the Crosstrek Wilderness this week. I think for me, I think the size of it is just right. I like the style of it. It doesn't have the turbocharged engine, but it's got enough power for what this is. And when snow comes, that's not a problem. If you want to get off-road and go to a camping site, that's not a problem. Or if you just want to get through city traffic, it's the right size for that too. So I really, really like everything about it. And for me, this is a car I'd drive every day and really, really like it. So let's talk about pricing. Well, the Crosstrek starts about $25,000. This one all in, $35,810. And given that it's a price reduction off of both the Forester and the Outback, I think it's a pretty good deal. Well, next week we'll have another fun car. Till then, storm forward.